I'm going to do my skincare while people hop on. It's been a crazy few days. So I hope everyone's well. So today we're going to be using the Revolution Highlight and Contour. So you would have seen some of my shorts that I did. I popped them on TikTok and I put them on YouTube and Instagram. So it's basically just using this to kind of contour the face and highlight where you want to be brought forward. So we're just going to spray. I've been using the spray. It's been really, really good. It's the Vitamin E Skincare Hydrating Mist. And I use it on myself just before I put anything on, just to cool down. And I can also use it on my brushes. So that's what we're going to be doing. I think I've got my window open, so if you can hear kind of birds or anything like that, that's what that is. So what I'm going to go in with is just some skincare. This is the Nourishing Gel Moisturizer, and it's got berry extract. And this is from their vitamin C range in Superdrug. So we're really going to be kind of focusing on contouring and highlighting today, because contouring is very different for every different face shape. So mine, I'm going to kind of, I've kind of got in between like a love heart and kind of oval face. So I'll be kind of contouring, really minimizing on the forehead, bringing in the cheekbones, and then highlighting is basically the heart shape you want to see around your eyes. So that's where that's going to be. Joan, hi, how are you? So we're focusing on the Revolution Duo Stick today. Thank you for joining. So I'm just going to put this, doing all my skin prep on. So you can get this in light, medium and dark. So this is, I got just the medium. Always for your contour. How are you, Joan? Have you been on my lives before, I think? So I'm just rubbing that into the face, guys, just to get that on. Really sink that into the skin. But I'm so glad the last 2 days I haven't been out. I've been working off of my my 4G, but finally got the internet today. So there shouldn't be any pixelation or anything like in the last live. So now what I'm going to do, because I'm not going out, I'm not going to put any SPF, but I'll just show you what we're going to be working with today. So this is the Revolution Duo Stick. It's not new. Mine is new, but it's not new out. It's been out for a while. So you've got one. This is brand new. You've got your highlight stick here, and then you've got your contour here. So you contour. So I've gone 2 kind of colors deeper than my natural skin. I wouldn't go any more than that because it might make you look a bit older. But this is, if I just swatch it for you, so this is the contour. And then we've got the highlight. So you can see it's not really, really dark, but certainly to my skin it looks dark. And then you've got the other side. This is in medium, so it will tell you what it is in store. This is the medium. I'm just catching up. The palettes are good. Revolution palettes are great. I absolutely love Revolution palettes. You're right, Joan. Hi, V100. Hi, Nazrin. Hi, Ashish. Hi, V100 Gaming. And this is the highlight. So you'll see the highlight is really creamy, but it's also more like of a vanilla color. And that's what you want to look at. So that's what we're looking at for like our contour and highlights. This is Revolution. I'm on a no-buy, but I wanted to do the contour because people have been asking me. I do a lot of bronzing. Bronzing is basically where the sun will naturally hit your face. Contour, you're actually going to change the shape of the face. That's what makeup is. It's changing how you look, basically. So what we're going to do is I'll start from obviously foundation, everything, but we're really going to be focusing on contouring and highlighting. And it's not going to be the same for everybody, guys. Not every one person has the same shape face. So contouring for you is going to be different to me, depending on your shape. Do take a look at the post section. I put up a post of what every kind of face shape is and what it would mean for you. So you can kind of take a look at that afterwards. But how is everybody? I'm so glad to be back, honestly. The internet's just been, because I'm moving, I had to get everything reinstalled again. So I was working off the last live we had. I was working off my 4G, and it was like pixelated and crazy. So we're back. So what I'm going to do is get my moisturizer. I'm not using an SPF today because I'm not going out, because it's 8:30 at night here. So I'm not going to be going out again. And this is the L'Oreal Revitalift Hyaluronic Water Cream. It's great to see a girly doing makeup. Oh, an Irish girly. Yes, I am. I'm from Dublin originally, but now I'm in the UK. But I love going back home. My family are in Wexford, and apparently Ed Sheeran just turned up in Wexford last week and just started like playing in a car park, and everyone just turned around, and he just did like a song and then went, but he was like, just for some reason just turned up. You're Dublin 22. Oh wow, I used to live in Dunleary in Rory O'Connor Park. I don't know if you know there, but kind of Dunleary for a long time. Um, and I grew up in Clondalkin in Dublin with my mum. Oh, that seems like a lifetime ago. But yeah. Hi, villain. So I've just kind of rubbed that in. Thank you for the love hearts, guys. I appreciate it. I've just made sure anytime you contour and highlight, guys, the one thing I would do is just hydrate the face. Really make sure that your face is kind of hydrated, because otherwise it's particularly where you're going to put it, it's going to stick, and you don't want it to look faded, or you don't want it to kind of look kind of uneven. So always just hydrate your face. I know I'm taking a lot of time with skincare, but you know, it's important as well, because that is your base. No matter what kind of makeup you put on, you have to kind of really take care of your skin, basically, is what it is. Yeah, I used to have to get the number 775 bus of doom for work. Yes, I used to work in Sandyford and have to get the bus there from Dunleary, Rory O'Connor Park in Dunleary. So yeah, I feel your pain. And that's, yeah, I know what you mean. So now that that's rubbed in, I'm just going to show you the dupe of Smashbox, basically. So a dupe, if you don't know, if you're new here, a dupe is another company comes out and will dupe, which is copy the product for a lower price. So this is W7's Prime Magic, and it is a Smashbox dupe, and Smashbox are a higher end. And it's a green primer. So the green and purple are just going to be color correcting. So you can see I've got a lot of redness here in the T-zone. So I go for the green. You can go for the purple too. So they're both color correcting, basically. They do have a clear one, but this is just their W7 camera ready, no flashback. But yeah, I do miss being home in Ireland. I really do. I was in banking before this, and when the crash of 2009 happened, I was working for a bank that was linked to America, and America, the crash happened in America first. So we all like lost our jobs, which was very nice. We just walked in one day, and then I ended up trying to kind of study something else, which was teaching, and then more like Montessori teaching, not primary teaching. Then I couldn't get a job there, and then there was a friend of my mum's in England who knew of a job, and that's kind of how it all started. And I tried going back in 2015, but I found like all my qualifications and everything weren't really the same over there. It was such a shame, because there was lots of jobs like in Montessori schools, but it wasn't the money that I would have been able to get here, and it's just a shame, really. But I do go back as much as I can. But my auntie put on Facebook last week that Ed Sheeran was just in a car. She just like got out of her car, and Ed Sheeran was there just with his guitar, and everyone turned around, and like he had this like little mini concert. I don't know, it was really, really funny. I don't know. But yeah. So I'm just going to rub that in, guys. So that's the primer. So it's camera ready. It is a dupe for Smashbox. You don't hear a lot about Smashbox anymore. It's, you know, it's just like, it's a shame. I don't hear a lot about any of their new products or anything, but this is a dupe. So W7, keep that in mind if you're trying to kind of save money and stuff like that. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go in with a Wet n Wild product, and this is their tinted hydrator. I'm just going to make sure I've got the right one, because I got different Hyalim. So we have two, and I didn't get them at the same time, guys, but I got one, thought it was my color online, and it was way too pale, as you can see. So I got this one. So this is the one I'm talking about. This is the Wet n Wild Bare Focus Tinted Hydrator. So we're going to be using that, and this one is in light fair. Yeah, at the Fleadh in Wexford. Yeah, at the Fleadh in Wexford. My family were there, and my mum and her friends. Tassos, hi, how are you? Everything's okay. I'm getting there, step by step, moving in. Getting there, thankfully. How have you been, Tassos? How's work? But Joan, yeah, it was really unusual just to turn up like that out of nowhere. But yeah, he's quite an easygoing guy, I think, Ed Sheeran. He seems like a very down to earth person. And I think he said in an interview he has like Irish relatives or something like that. I don't know where from, but apparently Ed Sheeran has Irish relatives. So yeah, I'm just popping this over there. This is a tinted hydrator, guys. How are you, Tassos? I haven't seen you in ages. It's a hydrator, it's tinted, there's no SPF. So if you're using this during the day, definitely pop on your SPF underneath. So I'm just going to put, as you can see guys, I do suffer from redness, so I am going to put on a little bit more. If you can hear the cars and the birds, I had to just open the window guys, it's so hot here, I just couldn't. So I'm just popping it around the face. Everything okay? I had a question to ask you. What would your next job be if you ever stopped working in care? So if people don't know, I actually work now as a support worker for young adults with Down syndrome and autism. My next job, wow, maybe working with people more, I don't know, in fashion or makeup. But I love to write and stuff as well. So maybe write a book, which I know sounds quite, it's not really a career to write a book, but I'd love to do something more in the creative side of things, more arty, more creative, kind of go that way. Tassos. My name is Irina. Good evening. Hi, Irina. You were here before. How are you? It's good to see you. Joan, hasn't he family in Galway? I think he did this cousin's wedding. Oh, wow. Well, that's at least, yeah, because I know I heard that he said, he had some family, but it makes sense as to why he's there so much, because he is in Ireland quite a bit. Hi Gabe, how are you? Nice to see everybody here. So yes, I think I would be in more of a creative job, maybe, where I could kind of use that side of things a bit more, and kind of have that kind of communication and with other people like that. I think I'd love that. But by the sea, somewhere hot as well, but not hot as in the sense that we've been having it in Ireland and England. Hot in the sense where like you're by the sea and it's like air conditioned and it's an actual job. Because I love the sun, but it's just too much. Tomorrow's to get to 35 degrees, and I just think that's way too much for us. Just way too much. Okay, so oh, thank you, BB. That's really sweet. Thank you. She married one of the lads out of the band, the Devlins. Oh, okay. I didn't know that, Joan, but it makes sense. I mean, I know he's in Ireland a lot. A lot of people, Tassos, a lot of people publish books, so you better have something that makes you stand out. I actually did write a book years ago. It's on my channel. It's called An Ocean of Secrets. But it was like years ago. It was 2012, and I didn't bring it to a publisher. So I was too nervous, so I put it onto Amazon, as you can do self-publishing. But yes, your hair is pretty. Thank you. Are you okay? I'm good. I'm feeling a little bit. I think it's just the allergies today. The pollen count is so high. We're not used to this weather, and it's crazy. But I just wish we had air conditioning. Joan, I live for aircon on my house. Yeah, I wish we had it now. I'm not used to this at all. I am a fan of going away, you know, with mum on holiday and stuff like that. But we're not set up for it here, like to have it every single day. Like yesterday was 28, today was 31, and tomorrow's to be 35. So that's just, I can't, honestly. And with hay fever, it's like the pollen count is, the grass pollen and the tree pollen are very different when you've got hay fever. So one cannot sometimes be stronger than the other, or if they're both the same strength, it's just like you feel it all in your eyes, you get itchy, everything. It's horrible having hay fever. So yeah, I have to take something. But Tassos, I do hope your job is going well, because I know you were saying you're working a lot. Tassos, no way I'll try to purchase it. Yeah, you can. It's on Amazon. Golden Ocean of Secrets. I think it's been there for quite a while. I never actually approached a publisher for it. I basically worked in like a call center for say a refuge for women, and if things had happened to them, they'd call in, and I got permission kind of to write and fictionalize a story based around that. So I did, and so it's just two women that happen to come across each other based on certain like, I wouldn't say it's a crime. Well, it is a crime. It's like a crime novel basically. But afterwards, you know, it was the last book I ever did. You woke up with swollen eyes. Wow, yeah, I know, and it's itchy. It's the itchy eyes, isn't it, as well? That's really bad, and that's what I find. Okay, so I've only put like a little bit on, guys, because I know I'm going to have to concentrate a bit on the T-zone for kind of the redness and stuff like that. I can see it coming through. I don't know if it's coming through on the camera, and then we're going to go in with concealer. So you can see for me, guys, with contouring, if you have a slightly bigger forehead like me, contouring is going to recede everything, and highlighting is going to like bring your eyes forward. It's going to make your eyes going to want to look at. The eye always goes for something that's quite bright. It will look at it. Something quite deep, it will structure the face as well, and it will almost, like we say, contour and kind of change the shape of the face. But yeah, is the weather the same in Ireland, Joan? Is it very, very hot? It was so hot here today, honestly. So let's go in with our, now I've run out of my color corrector, which if you've been a long time subscriber, you know that I usually use, before I go in with a concealer, I use a color corrector, and this is the Maybelline 3-in-1, but it's finally, it's finally used up, so I'm going to have to go straight in with my Tassos. They've prepared this new group of restaurants in a single building. I think I told you before, maybe. And believe it or not, they're still not ready. So we can go every day for 3 to 4 hours and clean. Oh my gosh, that is a long time. When are they supposed to be ready, Tassos? Have they gone past the deadline? So this is just the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer. Now, I know, guys, some people actually, when I talk about concealer and, I'd say highlight and concealer, you don't have to go out and get a massive palette. Like, I know there's RCMA, the Vincent Kyo, things like that. Have what you have. What you can do is get the L'Oreal sticks and basically go a very deep concealer and use that as a contour, and a very bright concealer and use that as a highlight. So this is just something really travel friendly. It's just a duo. It's the Revolution stick. It's I think it was like $6.99. I just wanted to show you something that you could get that's not, I know a lot of people on YouTube and they do the highlight and contour videos, which are amazing, but they're coming out with these, massive palettes that possibly aren't in everybody's price range, and I wanted to keep that in mind. So you can just get, if you're wondering to yourself, can I just get a concealer for a contour? You can just get a very, very deep brown concealer and use it, and even the applicator will help you with the position. So imagining this is a contour, the applicator feeling for your cheekbone is going to be great too, and you're going to, wherever your forehead is, how close it is to your brow and your hairline, that's how much room you have in terms of how much the contour comes down. So if you've got a very small forehead, you'll go very, very minimal with the contour. If you've got a larger forehead, you'll bring that contour down, because contour completely changes the shape and highlight brings the color forward. So that's what we're talking about there. Joan, we were dead heat with not much sun, and I reckon we'll have thunder soon, and the fireworks have started early this year. Wow. Oh my, the fireworks started early. I know they had fireworks yesterday or today, because the Fáciol stopped in Wexford today. It was the last day and they had fireworks to celebrate it. But wow, oh my goodness. So all I do with concealer is just put it in the areas around the T-zone, and then I go in with a sponge. Sometimes I go in with a brush, but I think today we'll just go in with one of the beauty blenders from Shein. So this fireworks have started where you are, Joan. Oh my goodness. That's not great if you have to be up early for work. Oh my goodness. Okay. So I'm just going to dot this. I'm not going to drag the skin, guys. And this isn't going to be the highlight. This is just a concealer. The highlight will be the highlight stick from Revolution. And again, guys, don't feel like you have to go out. When you think of a highlight and contour, people automatically think of palettes and really expensive kind of products. But you can actually, like I said before, remember I was talking, I think, a couple of weeks back about, somebody asked me, is primer expensive? And I said, when I used to freelance years ago, sometimes I would use concealer on brides as a primer, and concealer it does the exact same thing. It keeps the product on the eye. You can absolutely go out and get an eye primer if you want to, but concealer does the exact same thing in my view. So that would just be something I would say. But Tassos, we're getting our full salary, so I'm fixing my teeth in the meantime. Okay, enough oversharing. That's okay, Tassos. You know me, I overshare as well. You know all the comings and goings in my last place. You can feel free to overshare, Tassos. That's absolutely fine. I have to say, I have a thing with dentists, now that you're talking about teeth. They just scare me. I know I have to go, but they scare me. I don't like them. It's the whole process of it, I think. I just don't like dentists. Joan, yeah, we will be plagued till Halloween, and I've got 2 dogs. Oh, your poor dogs. Oh my gosh, they absolutely, I remember when we had dogs, we used to get this like cam. My mum got this like it's called Cam Aid, but it was a plug-in in the house, and it used to, but it worked a little bit. It didn't work completely, but it calmed. I think it must have like put something out in the air or something like that. And then when that didn't work, we had to go to the vets and get some tablets. But yeah, it's horrible, isn't it? Because you don't want to have to medicate your animals, but they do get scared. They get petrified of the sound. Yeah, so you'll be played till Halloween. Oh my gosh, yeah. It's the same with New Year's as well when you've got pets. It's just one of those things. But there is a plug-in I think you can get. I can't remember what it was called. I think it was CamAid or something like that it was called. But it did work for a while. But I think they had to be in the room. Yeah, I've got the plug-in. Yeah, it's good. It is good. So I've just dotted that around, guys, and that's the e.l.f. Camo Hydrating Concealer. So what I'm going to do now, we've done the foundation, we've done the concealer. Before, what we're going to just kind of like set all that in. And I'm definitely hitting pan. I'm very close to having to get a new one. And if you don't know what hitting pan means, it means that you use up a product to the point where you definitely need a new one instead of just going out and jumping out and buying the next thing and the next thing. And of course, moving house, renting is horrendous. So I had to put a load of kind of my focus financially into deposits and everything else under the sun, you can imagine. So yeah, so I will be getting another one next week, but this is going to have at least 3 or 4 uses left in it. So all I'm going to do is kind of set the face, kind of just powder everything. It's not going to affect this because this is a stick. This is a translucent powder, so it won't affect color or won't affect anything like that. So I'm just going to go in with my so just going to go in with this, just a blender brush that I got, and I'm just going to kind of set the face basically. So you can see I still do have redness coming through, and I think it's just the type of skin I have. But I definitely miss going home to Ireland. I really do. So I'm going to hope to go home in September. Mum is getting a lot better now. Okay. All right, so I think, guys, that's just set it, hasn't it? All we want to do, we don't want to go overboard. We just want to set everything in place. So that's what we've done with that. And it is translucent, so it's not going to kind of change the color or anything else. I'm just going to take some water because I forgot I had it here, guys, because yeah, it's the good thing about this weather is it does make you drink more water. Now, we had a thing the last time, guys. Another tip, if you're wearing your face for a long day, like a wedding, a pan stick is great. Eye primer, yes, in a brighter color, definitely. I agree with that. Yeah, like the Max Factor pan sticks are good, aren't they? They're quite good, and they're not very expensive. Okay. The wall behind you has a weird angle. Are you in an attic? No, there's a big sky window right here, but yeah, so the roof kind of comes down slightly, but then goes up higher. I see. No, it's not an attic. No, it's just how the so there's like a sky window right here at Tassos, but it's how the room kind of shapes. It looks smaller, but it actually goes up quite wide. So but I can imagine it from your point of view, it probably does look a little bit unusual. So what we're going to do now is just check all the steps are done. I'm going to show you based off of mine. It is cozy. Yeah, it's probably just looking from this corner. I'm in one corner of the room, so the room is all the way over there. But yeah, it's probably making it look a little bit crazy. So yeah, this is it. This is the Revolution medium, and you can get light, medium, and dark basically. So we're going to start off with the contour because what I want to show you is the kind of depth of your face and the length of your eyebrow to your hairline is where you're going to measure how much contour you pop on. So if your brows come up a little bit closer, you're going to put a little bit less contour than me. So contour is going to, you're trying to look like it's smaller than it actually is. So it's not like bronzer where you're just putting something on and it looks like you just got a little bit of a suntan. We're changing the structure tonight of the face. So again, I would say go 2 shades deeper and pop that. I'll show you where we pop it on. But yeah, cozy. Yeah, I can see why it would look like that. Yeah, there's like a wardrobe on the other side too. This is just so close to the window, Tassos, because it's so hot. This is why I'm over here, because the window's wide open. That's why I said at the start, if anybody can hear cars or birds or anything like that, It's very, very warm. It was 28 degrees and it's to be 35 degrees tomorrow. For us, it's very, very hot. So, and we don't have aircon, we don't have anything. So what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to bring this to about here. So this is so for the highlight, we want like a love heart shape here. That's where the highlight's going to be. Everything else we're going to try to bring in and change the shape. So we're going to start from here. And I know it's going to look a little strange, but you'll see what I mean as this blends in. And then what we do is we feel for the cheekbone. We don't draw on the cheekbone. Feel for it. And when you feel for it, you bring the product no more than halfway up here, and we bring it right up to the hairline, like that. And then we do the same on the other side. So feel for your cheekbone, because this is contouring. When you feel the cheekbone, go underneath, right underneath, and bring that all the way up to the right to the top of the ear. Okay, so you're getting that kind of already structured look, and then this will then match here, and this will then match here. So everything is going in, if you know what I mean. Now, what some people do is they bring it down the nose. You can. I don't usually do this, but I'm going to do it for the purpose of the live, because it brings more of a structured nose, like a little button nose. If you want a little button nose, you can go over here. Now, some people, I won't do it, but I've seen some people do it underneath, and then it gives the illusion of fuller lips. I don't think I'm going to do that today. Now, what you can do is you can either go in with a brush or a sponge. I feel like I get more control with the sponge. Tassos, I'm currently staying in a hotel room. Next to me, thankfully in another bed, is my roommate. Oh, you've got a roommate. Do you mean, oh, a roommate? Sorry, I thought you meant something else, Tassos. Sorry. So are you staying away for work or something? Okay, yeah, okay. Thankfully in another bed is my roommate. I get it. Okay, sorry. It's late here and it's hot. Yes, okay. Are you away for work or something? So this is the blender I'm going to use. I'm going to kind of slightly dampen it a little bit, because the product on a stick is a little bit thicker, so it's going to be harder to maneuver around the face. So all I'm going to do, this is just the Hydrating Mist Vitamin E from Superdrug, and we're just going to start to blend that around the face, and you'll see, guys, you really have to look at the structure. Now, really in particular, guys, we're going to just leave the jawbone for a moment and the cheekbone, just so you can see the difference between a contour and a bronze. So I'm leaving that there because I'm going to use a different brush. I'm actually going to use a brush to just start to warm that up, and I'm not going to move it at all. I'm going to follow in the line. So we're going to follow that line with a smaller brush, and we're going to use our e.l.f. face brush, duo face brush, and this is what it looks like. And I'm going to start to just manipulate the color, not going in any downward spiral. And you can see then how it's just coming in. So it's not like a bronze where it's kind of giving that nice kind of tanned look. You're seeing that the structure of the face is starting to kind of go inwards compared to this side, and that's what we want. That's why I'm moving it in the direction of where it actually is. So now you can see if I look, then if you want to take a clean foundation brush after you've done that and just kind of warm everything up, you can. And we're going to do the same on the other side. So you can see as I pull back, it kind of does look a little bit more structured. We're now seeing where we haven't put the contour right here. So you want that love heart shape. You want the eyes to be where the highlight is. So we're going to go ahead and do that now. We're going to move in real houses, but in the meantime, they keep us here. Okay, so that sounds like really full-on job, Tassos. The company provides accommodation. We're going to move in real houses, but in the meantime, they keep us here. Okay, gosh, that is full on, isn't it? How are you feeling? Are you feeling tired? I'm just going to do the same thing then, guys. Here, we're going to move that back. We're going to use the same brush, and we're going to use this brush as well for the nose area because we've brought that contour down the nose. Now, I don't usually do the nose. but I wanted to show you for the purposes of contouring how you could change the shape. And then I'm just going to not move the color, just warm it into the skin. So you still have that. As you can see, guys, can you see how that the illusion that's giving if I move from, and then don't worry, we are actually going to set this with a powder as well. So what you can do, you can either use a very small end of a sponge, or you can go in with a smaller brush, which I'm going to do. I'm going to go in with a smaller brush, and we're just going to kind of manipulate the color here, and then move on to the highlight. So this is a clean brush. I'm going to dampen it slightly. And we're just going to bring that right to the top. We're not going to go to the inner corner. Oh, you're zoning out watching me. That's okay. It's been strange not being on actually for a while, because you do get used to not being on. It's really strange how from going to being on YouTube a lot to suddenly not. It does get a little, does feel a little strange. But if you're zoning out and going to sleep, that's absolutely fine. Okay, so now what we're going to do is go in with the highlight. So the highlight, like I said before, was that love heart shape that we want. And you can also highlight the ends of the nose, the chin area. We're going to focus, I think, on the eyes, because it's then just going to make it really prominent where we did the contour. So what I'm going to do is just double up on that. Where is it? I'm going to double up on the powder for the contour. If I've brought it somewhere else, I hope I haven't. First of all, I'm just going to show you the highlight section. So this is what the highlight looks like. Again, you can use a deeper concealer. You don't have to use what I'm doing. And we're going to go here, sort of like in a triangle, bringing it up. This is our highlight. Really gentle, guys. And then a little bit here, because this is going to make you look a little bit younger, because you're pulling up your eye. So you're kind of pulling up the shape, basically, not your eye, but the shape. And we're not going too far down, so it's not going to kind of hurt the structure of what we've done. And I'm going to do the same on the other side. Now, if you're saying to yourself, I don't have a contour stick, or just get a concealer that's brighter and then get a concealer that's darker. And you can use one for the contour and then one for the highlight. Okay, so you can see what I'm doing. The kind of emphasis is bringing the eyes a little bit up and making them the kind of focal point. It's really nice and calming watching you, and what you're doing is easy to follow. Oh, I'm really glad that it's helping. That's really nice. I agree. Oh, thank you, Tassos. I'm glad I'm not making you fall asleep. Okay, so as you can see, guys, where I want to highlight is just this down this side of the nose. You then kind of prominent, it makes it a little bit more prominent than what we've done with the contour. I'm going to go to the top here of the lips. And then I'm going to do a little triangle here, and that's as much highlight as I'm going to do for me. It's not, I would not go any further than that personally for me, if you're doing a special occasion or bridal or anything. But I was asked just to do basic contour and highlight, and kind of, if you think about it, guys, it's structuring a shape. It's making the face of your shape change based on what you do with color. So it's color and change, basically, is what I find. So what I'm going to do is I tend to warm this up on the skin before I go in with a brush, particularly making sure it goes right to the end of the hairline, so it doesn't actually disturb the contour. And again, that I'm not dragging the skin, so you can see how I've done that already, and how it's kind of, can you see what that's done in comparison to this side? But I do hope everyone else as well. Is anybody else going on holiday? I'm obviously not going on holiday because I've moved and that cost me a fortune. But if you are going on holiday, let me know. I'm going to be doing overtime. Tomorrow is my overnight. So I'm a support worker for people, young adults with Down syndrome and autism. And I support them in supported living. And tomorrow is my overnight. So it's going to be straight after moving. It's definitely going to be a challenge to stay awake tomorrow. But I'll go straight to bed after this, so I'll be fine. But knowing me, I'll just be wide awake from chatting to you guys. And that's what happens to me. I think it's the Irish. We just always chat anyway. So what I'm going to do is, as you can see, guys, I definitely made sure that I was very gentle with my finger on the edges of each eye, but we are going to use the triangle section of this to do this side, and you'll just see then everything come together, and then we will they will come together then. Sorry, Joan, a lot of other makeup videos are a bit off-putting because they are either rushed off their shouting products names at you. Oh, I know what you mean. I never kind of try to preference one product over the other, and then if I do have a suggestion for like a dupe, which is like something that can be, you can kind of save money on, then I try to do that. But I don't have a bit. I feel the same. I don't kind of I don't like to kind of just push one product brand either, because everyone's different and not every single person is going to find the same thing useful. So so as you can see, guys, I'm trying not to change where I've put it, but I'm also just warming it to the skin, because we want to look back and see that kind of the eye being kind of drawn to the highlight. I'm off to Sally, Spain. When are you going? God, that sounds really good. How long are you going for? And then you can bring that under the brow as well, guys, because you want that to be a little bit brighter. So as you can see, guys, this is the result of the before and after. You can deepen that bronzer if you want to. Bronzer, I'm so used to bronzing, that contour if you want to, because I will say about this, contour is about layering as well. So if I went in again, you would see a deeper bronze, which we will do. So we're going to just, I've just noticed I want to just fix here, bring this upwards. September for 2 weeks. Wow, that sounds amazing. And it won't be as hot then either. That's good. So all I'm doing, guys, is I noticed that was a little bit too prominent, and now you can see as I turn, I just wanted to warm that up to the skin slightly. And that's what we're kind of looking at now. Okay, there will be photos afterwards, obviously, in the post section too. Where have I put that clip? Because I'm thinking, should I just tie my hair up? Guys, it doesn't matter where I am, I always lose something, and then after the video I find it, or the live, and it's really annoying. I was going to just pull up my hair, but we'll work with it. Okay. Tassos, I'll never forget when one of the trolls here asked you, why are you shaking? Oh, I can kind of remember that. Yeah, I don't know. What happened with that again? I can't, you're going to have to remind me. Sorry, I do slightly remember what you're talking about. Why was I shaking? I think, was it the camera shook or something? And they thought I was shaking. Oh, no. I was shaking the, I know what it was. I was shaking the setting spray because you had to kind of activate it. And they asked me why I was shaking. Yeah, I do remember that now. Yeah, that was funny. Okay. So I'm just going to follow up. Really, Kira, you're doing a brilliant job. Oh, thank you. That means a lot. So because it's so hot tonight, I can even feel this has actually gone dry again. So I am going to be using the hydrating mist because I don't want to dry out my skin in any way. And we're just going to press. I'm not going to change the shape because the shape is what I want for the highlight. Thank you, Joan. That really means a lot. Support, and the support work. Thank you. Yeah, it's overnights and full days. So I start at 7:30 tomorrow morning, and then I finish at 7:30 the next morning. So yeah, it's intense. But I used to not run the after school, but I was in childcare when I was here. I did a lot of study in childcare, and then I ended up managing a after school in a primary school. And then COVID hit, and a lot of the parents realized that they didn't actually have to work. They could work from home. So that meant a lot of the kids, children, the numbers went down, because when COVID hit in 2020, that was the real, everybody had to stay home. But we opened for essential workers only. So people like, who worked at the hospitals, parents that were doctors, all that kind of thing. But then the other parents that realized they could work from home, all those children went. So unfortunately, it meant I looked at other positions, and then this position came up in support work, which is a little bit older, young adults with, it's in their supported living. So this is very new to me. I say that new to me, but I've been doing it for 4 years. But it still feels like I learn something every day. It still feels like I'm not I don't think you get completely comfortable in a job like this, and I don't think it's healthy to actually get completely comfortable in a job like support work, because every day is different. Something could happen. That you're not, you're just not prepared for. So that's how I feel about it. But no, it definitely keeps you on your toes. Tassos, how do you manage to stay alert? A lot of coffee. The thing is, then I have issues, like I really have issues falling asleep, but once I'm asleep, I'm asleep. So then I really struggle waking up. So it's like, it's a nightmare. So I've kind of done the highlight there, guys. I didn't want to go too kind of white because I wanted to show you what if you want to do a highlight and contour during the day and you don't necessarily want to have a very, very strong highlight. What I'll do is I'll kind of emphasize the contour a bit more. So I'll pop on some more of that medium just to kind of highlight really more the kind of heart shape. So you want a heart shape where the highlight is, and then you want to shape the face with the contour, and that's basically what you want to do. So I'm going to just go in again once more and bring that contour down a little further. So we're just going to go here, and I'm going in a different shape. You can see that I'm actually using the pen in a different way now, because that's going to bring this, it's only going to leave this little circle here, which will then bring this down the heart shape, and that's what we want. So you can kind of do that again. We're going to connect those two, and we're going to do this here. And all this is deepening the color. So we're going to go one more time. Now you can go, I will show you for the purposes of the video, you can go under the jawline, right on the jawline. What I would say is if you're going to go on the jawline is blend that down the neck, obviously. So we will do that. I'm not going to go again on the nose. If you wanted to, you could. I personally won't. And what some people actually do is I'll show you for the live purposes, they do it just above the eye. Because what they do is they warm that to the skin. This will then recede inwards, and then the inner corner eye will be much brighter. And that's what you want when you want bright eyes. So even if I warm that up here, I'll show you what I mean. It's going to recede this part of in, and you can see it's already making the eye look a little bit bigger. And that's kind of the secret to contouring when it comes to eyes. You can see there, it's already kind of made my skin look a little bit higher. So that's what you can do with that. And then what you can do to emphasize the lid is you can use some of this here, and then we'll just emphasize what you've done. So that's if you really want to go for an eye contour using a clean finger, then just to, and then you've got that kind of, as you can see, it's just changed the focus of the eye. Okay, so what I'll do is I'm actually going to use a brush this time just to show you. So we're going to brush out the contour this time. I'm going to use my contour brush from Real Techniques. Tassos, we had a lady in a care home who would have long conversations with herself in the mirror. One time she wanted to introduce her to me. It sounds funny, but it was heavy. I can imagine. Oh my goodness. We've had some people who have dementia, like see a person that's not there and they're talking, and the doctor said to us he can actually see it. So to him, that's what dementia does. They can actually see these things. So don't tell them that they're not there, because they can see it. So we had to kind of, similar like you say, introduce this person, and they're having this long conversation and you can't see who they're talking to, and it can be sometimes a little bit unsettling, but you know it's just part of what they are going through. But yeah, the doctor said don't tell them it's not there, because that's the mistake you make, isn't it? You think, oh no, what are you trying to correct them, but actually the doctor said with dementia they genuinely are seeing these things, but then their long-term memory is amazing. Like they can remember childhood memories, and they can remember things like that. So yeah, it can be a really unusual disease of the mind, I think. So that's deepened that a little bit more. So you can see, guys, what I did. I just brought that contour down, because then it's going to show just more of the highlight here, just what we wanted. And you can see it brought that contour a little bit deeper as well. But it can be heavy, Tassos. I know what you mean. There's kind of a comedic value to it, yet it's also very, very heavy, because this person is like going through something quite serious. So what I'm doing here, guys, is I'm just bringing that down the neck, because you don't want, you can see how it's shaped the face, but you don't want it to look a different color to anything else. So you do bring that down. Tassos, how long did you say you worked in a care home for? I keep forgetting that you worked there. Did you say you worked for a care home in the UK? So now what I'm going to do is do the same thing, and I'm just blending this out, but I'm not changing where it actually is, because this is a contour. With a bronze, you kind of just want to make it look very natural. This is more, as you can see, the face is now being a bit more structured. And I wish I could find that clip, guys. I literally had it in front of me, and I know the minute I stop this video or this live, I'll find my clip, because I want to kind of just have the hair back so you can see. What I would also suggest is if you're ever doing a highlight and contour on yourself, I know I don't have my clip, but I'm doing this for you just to show you. If you have your hair up, you can see the face, your shape much better. You know, you can kind of tell which angles work best for you. So that's what I would suggest. Obviously, I put my clip here thinking I was being very prepared, and it is nowhere to be seen. So but that's what I would advise. If you're kind of starting off contour and highlighting, look at the face shape. And the only way you can do that is particularly if you've got very long hair, bring that hair back, look forward, and you'll see all the different dimensions of your face and what you need basically. So yes, I was about to, one last look here, guys, and then I'm going to continue because great, I found it. Okay, great. 6 months. Wow. Okay. So as you can see, guys, if I just show you what I mean, thankfully we found that, because it just shows you anybody who ties up their hair is going to see either a round face, an oval face. They're going to see their natural face shape. However, if you're starting to contour and highlight and you're looking for okay, so where do I do the indents? How do I make my jawline more pronounced? How do I kind of make sure that the chin line has more kind of just looks, more of a singular kind of shape? This is how you know, because you can look in the mirror and say, okay, I can see what I need to do. Whereas if you have your hair down, like I did, I finally found it, guys. Things are coming together. But you can see now, guys, as I turn, this obviously is going to be blended, and this is going to be blended. But you can see as I turn, and again, the pictures will show as well in shortly. And you can see where I indented the eyes with the contour and the highlight in the middle. So what we're going to do now is just softly take all of the kind of harshness away. So it will still come across as a contour, but it will all blend back into the hairline, and it won't look unnatural. But a contour is never going to look natural, guys, because you are trying to shape the face. You're trying to kind of add dimension, take some dimension away from the face as well. So that's kind of what we're looking at here. I would always lock that in with powder as well. So what I'm going to do is go back into that translucent powder here. But yeah, I would highly recommend to set everything as well. So you can see it's just made everything look a bit more, okay, this is where this needs to be. So what we're going to do is just go back in with the brush. This is just a clear powder, so it's not going to take any color away from what we've done. And we're just going to, literally, guys, it's going to set everything. Because if you're going for a whole day with something like a contour, and you're in different weathers, or you're in an area, office, anything like that, or you're always on your feet, setting everything is so important. So if I look back here now, again, I will agree it's not the strongest contour, but I didn't want to do my first contour live that was requested to take over, so that you could see just the basics of it. And I can always go into a heavy contour, but as I turn, guys, can you see it's not a bronze, it's a structure. And the same on this side, and that's what you want. And you can see the highlights showing as well, and that's kind of the basics of it. Now, some people do go under the lips with the bronze, but I don't. But the purpose of that, if you're wondering why do they do that, they want to give the illusion of bigger lips. Basically, when you put a dark color under this lip here, it's going to make it look more pronounced and bigger, basically. Okay, so we're going to do the brows now, and then everything will kind of come together. But that's kind of the basics. I will pop down some kind of in the post section, I'll pop down kind of a little bit of facts and things like that, so it does help when you look back on it. You are so 70s vintage. Okay. I think people have said that before, but I don't quite get the reference. Okay, I'm looking for a brow pencil that I just bought from Revolution. I'm just going to put stuff back as we're doing it, but 70s vintage, somebody said something like that before to me. So you can see, even as we're looking in the mirror, it does look very contoured, but that's what we're going for. Again, always make sure, I'll just show you here, this is what I meant to show you, make sure that blended and down the neck. The darkness is going to give the illusion of that chin being much thinner than it actually is. And again, like that. So when you look ahead, you can, that's definitely just showing you everything. Okay. So we've set that. I'm just going to take some water. Is it just me, or have any of you ever found a product you just didn't like the feel of? That's a good question. Didn't like the feel of. I'm not a huge Charlotte Tilbury fan. That's just something. I know she's very popular, but I've never really been a huge Charlotte Tilbury fan. I think a lot of what she does can already be done by other kind of brands, or I think she reinvents a lot of products that have already been done. That's just my personal opinion. I know she's very, very popular, so I wouldn't, say otherwise. But for me, I'm not a huge Charlotte Tilbury fan. Okay, so what I'm doing is, okay, just looking for the brows. Here we go. So this is going to look quite deep, but I did it on purpose, guys, because I want you to see the dark brow, the dark contour. It's just going to show everything. So this is the Revolution, and it's the brush and the medium brown brush and pencil. So you've got on one end, you've got the brush, and the other you've got the pencil. Now this pencil, I will say, guys, is a lot darker, but for something like a contour and highlight, this is just a brush. It's really going to define the entire face. So you will notice that it's a lot darker than what I usually do, but it is just medium brown. And then what I'm going to do for the eyes is I'm going to dab a tiny piece, just before we do that, a tiny piece of the concealer. Yeah, Charlotte Tilbury for me is not a huge fan. Maybe it's just me. I probably won't get a lot of popular opinions about this, but I'm not really a Pat McGrath Labs fan. I've got one of her palettes. I know she's really, really popular. I'm not really a fan of those. I think for what they are, they're hugely overpriced, personally. Pat McGrath Labs, and I'm not going to be popular for saying that. I know that. I do know that. I'm just not. I think there's other companies that do the same thing. Again, that's just me personally. So Pat McGrath and Charlotte Tilbury were probably two products that I'm not really a fan of. So as you can see, the reason I did that, guys, is because when we did the contour with the eye, that gave us the depth, something that was receding inwards. What we want to recede outwards, and what we want our eyes to go for and look bright, is the inner corner and the lids. When the lid and the inner corner of your eye is bright, it makes you look younger. It makes you look brighter. It's just going to lift your face completely. So you can see on this side too. So what I'm going to do now on the other side is I'm going to go slightly, very, very thinly. I'm just going to put on, this is just a normal light concealer. Just a light concealer, guys. And you're probably wondering, what is she doing? Well, this is going to open up all this area, which is then going to pronounce the contour even more, but it's going to complement it. So I'm going to show you what I mean. If you have a very small blender, I have one, and of course anyone who comes on my lives knows that halfway through I lose something, then find it, then lose. So basically the whole purpose of the smaller sponge is I'll warm up with the skin first. So what we want to do is when we look away, we want the eyes to look highlighted and we want the lids to look highlighted. However, we want the receding backwards part, which is a contour, to be on above the lid. So it all looks very kind of svelte and put together. So that's what we're doing. You can see it just kind of bounces off the inner corner of the eye, really. And if you just take your time, have a little bit of patience. I'm patient with children. I'm not strange. I'm not very patient with other things, but I'm patient with other people, but not myself. So that's all we're doing. We're bringing that right back as well. So you can see it just bounces off. And if you connect it then here, it all just kind of comes together. And then we can either, if there's anything else we need to do, we can just kind of pat that in there. So that's the difference there. It's just kind of bounced it off, made it look brighter, really emphasized the inside of the lid lighter, and then the heavier contour, even though it's there, it's kind of complementing it more than making it look tired. And that's kind of, so you're contouring your eye and your face basically. I've done that too, bought high end and went back to mid range because I just found the product better. Yeah, I think so, and I think the a lot of these names, they just use that. And to me, the big thing is the price. The price for what they are, guys. You can get that in a mid range brand, and because she brings out so many palettes. The only reason I know is because I went on to Cult Beauty, which is a website you can go on and get different skincare beauty products, and they had a little kind of like miniature version for £18. And then I had £10 built up on Cult Beauty points. I think it's similar to Superdrug points. So it ended up being like £8, which is not what Pat McGrath Labs usually are. And it was a smoky eye one. And I have to say, guys, yes, it was nice, but I had other eyeshadow palettes that would do the same, would do the exact same. So, but I know she's popular. I'm gonna have people look back at this and say, I love Pat McGrath, and I get that. That's great. But for me, there are other kind of brands out there that I would go to first. And again, Charlotte Tilbury, I feel like as well. So that's kind of it, guys. You can see the structure of the eye, the structure of the forehead, bringing that in. So you're bringing contouring your face inwards. And what we want to see is the outside, the love heart shape that I was talking about, which is around the face and the eye, just here. And I will pop up the various different face shapes on my post section after we do this. So again, we're just going to double set that again. And what I'm going to finally set everything with is the Revolution, and this is the baking powder, and it's their pink version. They've got banana light. This just gives a little bit more of a life to the skin. This is the pink one. Bernard Pedro, hello. Okay, so it comes with a little sifter, and I'll just show you. This is the sifter it comes with, so we're just going to pop a little bit in and then use a smaller little puff here to pop it on. Okay, gosh, it's getting warm here. It's getting warm. So then I'm going to go in with the eyes too, and that's really going to define the face. So I'm just taking that little puff here that you get. Have you bought the rose powder? I find it really good. I find the little, I got a triangle, I don't know if they still come with it, but mine came with like a little triangle puff. And I find it perfect for under the eyes. I always say on my lives, I've seen people on YouTube use the pink powder all over their face. I don't use this powder all over my face. I just use it for under the eyes to set everything. So you can see now, guys, how it's just really made everything look matte, but not, it mattifies, I think. But yeah, it's a really good product. I really like it. I really like it. Again, I would personally just use it under the eyes, but you can use it everywhere, and maybe the T-zone, use the rest of the product on the T-zone. So this is what it looks like just on the actual path like that. It's just like a little puff, and then you just go underneath. And I love the shape because it goes directly where you want it to go. So for me, that's where I put mine. And it stays all day. It's really good. Again, it's from Revolution, so I mean, they're a really good brand as well. So that's just set the eyes, guys, and what it's done then is just kind of defined everything. I'm going to go in with the brows now, and this is the Revolution medium brown. This is the brush we had started to use before I did the contour on the eye. Just brushing them into place. Now this is a strong, and I will say strong, brow pencil. Just to let you know, it's medium brown, but it certainly does. If you want your brows to look really natural, brush them up first, as you can see, and then bring them back like that. And then you've got your natural curve. Do that on the other side. So brushing them all the way up and then just putting them back into place. And then we're going to go in with our color. Have I missed out on any? Tassos, cheesy question, but what are your hobbies? I don't really have, since I started this job, I'm not going to say I don't have hobbies, but sometimes the support work job can just take over. It's really crazy. And, you know, I even find coming on here sometimes, I try to make the time for it, and the job just wears you out. But my hobbies have always been like sort of more like writing. You can see, guys, how strong that is, but I wanted a stronger look so you could see the whole kind of structured eyebrow, structured kind of contour, and then it gives the highlight kind of more of an attention. And I'm going to go in with a very, very medium kind of color, very bright color, because we don't want any darkness to take away. We've gone to all that effort of highlighting the eye and making sure that it looks bright. The last thing we want to do is put a deep brown color on our lid, and then it kind of just doesn't go with the color at all. So I'm going to go on the other side. You can see what I mean. The depth and the dimension is there. This is my natural brow, what it looks like. You can see what it does, guys. It's really good, and it's this is Revolution's duo pencil in, so you get your brush on one side and your color on the other, and this is what the color looks like, and I'll just swatch it for you. This is medium brown, and that's what that looks like there. But hobbies, I don't even have time to think of hobbies for myself. What are your hobbies, Tassos? I need some when I had the dogs, it was much easier. I had 2 West Highland Terriers, mother and daughter, and they just, I think when you have animals, they just get you out of your comfort zone. Like, they always needed to be walked and things like that. So that was a huge thing for me. You know, it used to get me out of my comfort zone and literally get me out, because they needed to be walked. But having a hobby now, I'd actually have to, I don't know. I used to paint a lot. I'm not amazing. I used to paint. I've done a couple of things over time, nothing major. But just following again, guys, going to the brow, not putting it anywhere that it shouldn't be, so where there isn't any natural hair. Here you can see, guys, how structured that's made the face, and that's what a highlight and contour is. We've highlight and contoured the eyes, we've done the cheeks, we've done the forehead, we've set everything, we've even done the nose, we've gone down the nose and above. Now, the last thing I will say is I have seen a lot of people, when they do a very structured contour as well as the chin, go under the lip, and that does just make the lips look bigger. It's not something I would do personally, but you can do it, and the purpose of it is, if you're wondering why, it is to make a person's lips look bigger than they actually are. So that's that. But no, Tassos, what are your hobbies? If you have time outside of work, you seem to have a very busy job like me. But I think when you have other responsibilities, you know, I've got friends that have kids and things like that. They tend to kind of, it kind of opens up a circle, I think, of friends naturally when they have to go to like various things with their kids. It kind of, I think in that sense, it kind of opens up a whole world for them, really. So that's kind of what we're looking at so far. Just going to pop on some lip oil for my lips. I'm not going to go for any deep color. We're going to curl the lashes shortly. This is just, it's not meant to be a whole Revolution haul, but I've had this for a while. It just happens to be Revolution products. This is just a Revolution hydrating lip oil. I got it in Superdrug a long time ago, but it's really good. It's not sticky, very hydrating. So it comes in mango, strawberry, and I think there's a lemon one. This is just the strawberry one, and it's in oil. So I'm not going to put any lipstick on or anything like that. We're just going to go ahead with this. And it's great for if you've got dry lips. And that's all it is, guys. It's just like a gloss, but it's actually an oil. And that's all I'm going to do with that. But yes, Joan, that powder is amazing, honestly. You won't regret getting it. I just want to check. Yes, I knew I'd put it somewhere. So we set the highlight, we didn't set the contour, and I wanted to do that. And this is the Glow Wish, and this is the Huda Beauty Glow Wish 03 Tan Light. And all I'm going to do is set what I did with the contour. And I put it in a different bag. I don't know about you guys, but when you move, once you think you've put everything away, you always find other things that you were supposed to have put different places, and that's happening to me. So yeah, this is a very structured look today, guys, particularly with the brows, but it is going to show kind of the rest of the face and complement the rest of the face. So this is what this looks like. It's a very marble effect. It kind of looks like Laura Geller, her kind of marble effect products. So all it's going to do, I'm only going to put it, guys, with a very structured brush, very carefully, where we put the contour, because then all it's going to do is set that contour. Excuse me. So we're just going to swirl it around. I'm going to look ahead, and all I'm doing, guys, is popping it where the contour was, and it will set it before we put on our setting spray. So you can see, guys, all it's doing is setting it. There will be pictures as well, guys. If you can hear, I'm sorry if you can hear outside, but it's so hot I had to open and it's actually like a skylight. It's a sky window. I don't know how to explain it, but it's in this side of the room. So even though it looks, this is where the roof dips, but actually it's a bigger room. But this is where the window, the kind of window is kind of built into the wall. I know it sounds, I'm terrible at describing things, but it kind of opens out. So that's what I've done there, guys. I've really just structured everything, made sure that it all goes back into the hairline as well. And we're not bringing, again, always go by like under the cheekbone, and never go by this, because otherwise it's going to make you look older. It's going to drag your skin down. If you bring a contour right here, it's going to drag the face down. You don't want that to happen. And if you see me kind of looking around, I'm just making sure that everything we've popped in has gone back to the hairline, so that even though a contour isn't natural, it looks symmetrical and it looks pulled together basically. And that's kind of what you're looking at. Okay, so that's kind of the contour face. We've also contoured our eyes, and if you're wondering, if you're just tuning in, what does contouring your eyes mean, that deeper color is going to go above the lid because it's going to make your eye recede in, and the lighter color is going to open up your eye, and your eye is naturally going to look pulled back and bigger. And that's kind of what contouring the eye is. Very similar kind of process to the face. The deeper the color, you're actually making that look smaller. The brighter the color, you're bringing your kind of attention to it. Your attention is always going to be brought to bright colors, so you want that to be in this section of the face so that everything looks brighter. And that's kind of what a highlight and contour is. So there will be pictures as well. I am going to do the eyes with you guys as well. So for me, I would go for like a medium kind of pinkish look today. I'm not going to go even that pink. It's kind of like one of the She Glam quads I think I did a while back. Very neutral. It's not going to be anything too, because I wanted this to kind of be the kind of focal point was the highlight and contour. And again, Revolution are great, guys, if you're just looking for that kind of duo stick. You don't want any complications. Again, if you don't want a duo stick and you just want a contour and a highlight, just get like a Rimmel, L'Oreal. They all have like, you know, get the deepest, you know, concealer you can find. You can use that as your contour, and the lightest you can find can use as your highlight. So you don't need to go out and get kind of a big brand highlight and contour kit basically. Another reason you're looking around is to make sure there aren't any ghosts, I suppose. There hasn't been since I moved in, so you know, that's very that's comforting for me, Tassos. As you know, in my previous place it wasn't so quiet, but yes, that was yes, don't know what to say any of that, but yeah, things happened, didn't they, that were a bit odd, but thankfully so far so good. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just find that eyeshadow palette that I was talking about. It's just it's a quad, it's only 4 colors, and if I don't have it, we might just go ahead and use the mascara and curl the lashes. I'm nearly sure I put it somewhere. That's always my last thing that I say, because I'm nearly sure I put it somewhere. Yeah, of course I did. So this is it, guys. It's She Glam. It's their Cosmic Crystals Charm School, and we're going to use this really matte light color, and we're going to pop that just on the lids, and then we're going to do the mascara, and it'll separate the eye, it'll give it a bit of life, but it's not too overbearing, and it will kind of match the gloss as well. And that's it. That's where we're going to go. Good to go then. Again, pictures will be up. It's great to talk to you guys. The other reason I love doing lives is yes, I do requested highlight and contour, and I love doing this side of things because I haven't done this since I used to be a freelancer. So I do like kind of telling you guys about these things. But again, I do like the kind of the conversations we have, and I love seeing regulars come back and meeting new as well. Because, you know, it is nice, particularly when you don't see your family as much, or you don't see people like that you'd want to see as much as you can when you come on lives and you get to, you know, meet different people. For me, I just love it. And, you know, I really appreciate you guys being here. So this I'm going to swatch. They're not named. It's just called Cosmic Crystals Charm School. This we're going to just apply with our finger. And all I'm going to do is just sweep that really gently over the lid. Now it's coming off a bit deeper. It's brighter. It'll probably come off brighter. So I'm not going to go any further. I'm not bringing it up any further. I'm going to make sure it's on the end because the color just faded away towards the end of the lid there. But I find kind of, I'm such a chatty person that I do miss, you know, being at home and, you know, things like that. It can be kind of difficult sometimes, especially when you're in work and they all go home to like 8 people. Well, 8 people. I'm not saying 8 people, but as an example, you know. So it can be kind of isolating. So lots of people say, oh, support worker, you're so busy, but sometimes it can be isolating. So, for example, if you're supporting people all day and you're on your own, you don't have that conversation. You might have a conversation with a colleague, but it's not to the same level as you would maybe in the office or even teaching, where you would have had that one-to-one adult kind of time, if you know what I mean. Whereas kind of with support work, you're very much focused on them, which is absolutely you should be as a support worker. What I mean is it can get the other side, for your mental health sometimes. I'm not complaining at all, guys, because it's a very, I feel very lucky to work with these people, but it is a very, it can be isolating in terms of conversation and communication as an adult, if you know what I mean, in that kind of side of things. I hope your mother is okay. She is. It was her birthday on the 9th, and her friend came over, but the Fa Ceol was on, and if you don't know what that is, it's just a musical event in Wexford, and it was just packed. But she went out to a restaurant with her friends, and she seemed to have a really good time. She's getting better, she's got another surgery coming up in a couple of months, and then hopefully after that everything will be okay. So I'm going to curl the lashes, guys, but thank you for asking, Tassos. So that's kind of, if we look back here, we can see straight away where we've highlighted, and I said at the very beginning, if you remember, make sure it's kind of in a heart shape. So the heart shape is the eyes and the cheeks, the upper cheeks. So actually what you put on the cheeks, guys, is going to affect if that skin is dragged down. So if you bring that contour right in here, it's actually going to make you look older. It's going to bring your skin down a bit more than you really want it to. Whereas if you stop here and you just stop at the cheekbone and you put your face forward, you can see it kind of comes in, but then the highlight really takes effect, and that's kind of what you want. I didn't go overboard with the eyes because I didn't want them to be the focal point. I wanted to be able to look back and for you to see kind of what we've done tonight. I'm going to curl the lashes. I'm going to have a drink, guys, because it's hot and I'm talking away. But thank you, Tassos. She's got one more operation, and then basically, if you're just wondering, guys, or if you're new, my mum had found some keloids on her skin, and keloids are just built up cells from maybe when you have had too much time in the sun over the years. And so they had to be removed. The GP found two. One was on her arm and the other one was on her back. So the one on her arm, they said basically they can turn cancerous if you're not very careful. And now my mum stays out of the sun. I think they said even if you're, as a child, if you were exposed to the sun a lot and there wasn't a lot of SPF put on, and I think back when my mum was a child, SPF wasn't very, it wasn't as kind of enough known about it as there is now, and enough emphasis put on to kind of put SPF on your children. So I think she'd built up all these kind of skin cells, and then the doctor said that they could be cancerous if you're not very careful. So she's gotten one removed, and then there's one on her back that she's got to get removed in a couple of months, in a month, yeah, in a month's time. So they're going to remove that, and then hopefully everything's okay, because they can actually build up to a cancerous level if you're not careful. So lucky the GP found those, because she had her yearly, I think when you get to 64, you can get your yearly check for free in Ireland. You can get a whole kind of health check, and that's when they found it, thankfully. But thank you for asking. I really appreciate it. Okay, so what we're going to do now is do the mascara. And I always say, I feel like eyelash curlers do about 50% of the work that a mascara does. So if you can get yourself an eyelash curler with a cushion effect, I always say a cushion because it's much healthier for your lashes. It does 50% of the work because it kind of curls them upwards. So that's what we're going to do. And I have a little mirror here somewhere. But I think even now, SPF, I think I keep mentioning this, but I do it for a reason, just in case you don't know. About 5 lives ago, there was a medical student on, and he said to let everybody know in the comments, and obviously myself, that sun protection factor, whether that's 100, 40, SPF 30, SPF 100, it only ever lasts for 2 hours. So you could put it on during the day and think you're okay, let's go out, let's, if we're on holiday, let's just go out for the day. And you've put your sun protection factor on in the morning. After 2 hours, it doesn't protect you. That's as long as it lasts. So just remember that, guys, it doesn't last. So that really, surprised me. I didn't know that at all. So what we're going to be going in with as well is we're going to be going in with the W7 just for the mascara. So that's something to keep in mind, guys. So if you're going on holiday and you haven't seen the sun in years, and it's 30 degrees, 40 degrees, and you're like, okay, let's put the sun cream on and go, keep the sun cream with you and apply every 2 hours, because actually that's it was a medical student who was saying that when they were doing their research, that's as long as any sun cream will last, and that goes for sunscreen on your face as well. Okay, so this is the mascara. It's the W7 Lash Out, and I'm just going to curl the lashes with a smaller mirror. I do have a smaller mirror here somewhere. And then we're almost finished, guys. Thank you for sticking with me today. It does mean a lot to me. So a smaller mirror, what I always do is I look down, guys, and this is what I've always done. So if I'm doing it on myself, what I'll do is I'll look down, curl the lashes, because I can see in that mirror exactly what I'm doing. And then the mascara, I have a really good kind of sight as what I'm doing. So you're not like looking ahead, trying to strain and see if the mascara is on. You've got much more control, particularly with the inner lashes as well, with mascara. So I'm going to do this quickly. Usually on a longer form content video, this is fast forwarded because it's not very exciting watching somebody curl their lashes. But I hope, Tassels, that, you know, work isn't too stressful for you this week. I'll be going to bed shortly myself. I think as well I'm not sleeping because when you're in a new place, you know, you it's just natural. You don't kind of fall asleep straight away. It's brand new. It's a new, you know, but it's a 10-minute walk, or not even. I think it's a 6-minute walk to work where I am now. So okay, so I've just kind of curled those. We're going to go in now with the W7 Lash Out Mascara. This is what it looks like. This is what, it's a fiber lash mascara, and you can see from the brush, if I just show you, we're almost finished now, guys. You've stuck with me, so thank you for that. That's what the brush looks like. But Tassos, it's always great to see you, and Joan, thank you for coming on today. Gib, thank you as well. I appreciate you all. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to look down and I can see exactly where it's going, particularly in the inner corners of the eye, because that's where it's really hard to get and focus on. This is where it's not very exciting to watch somebody live do mascara because it's a process. So I'm going to try and do it as quick as I can. Okay, so you can see, guys, it's really starting to look on the outside. So what we're going to do is go on the inside and just get those inner lashes, inner corner lashes. Not at all. We're there only for 3 or 4 hours doing whatever. The real work is going to be different, of course. Oh, okay. So you've got the rest of the day free then. Do you go back to the hotel after that and just chill out for the day? Okay. So as I'm looking that forward, I'm hoping it's showing up in the camera, but it's definitely looking really even. You can always get a clean mascara wand if you want to, and it separates them out, and I'll show you what I mean. And then I'll do the other eye. So what I'm going to do now is I'll just show you what I always keep handy with me, which is the clean mascara wands, basically. And what they can do is you can go into the inner corner and like a brush and separate out what you've done. It's literally like what you would brush your hair, how you would brush your hair. It's the same effect for your lashes, basically. You're just separating what you've done, and then you can see it really clearly then, as you can see. Okay. Yes, and I have to start going swimming again, but I'm bored. I love swimming. I haven't been swimming in a long time. Do you go do the just in the pool, or do you actually swim in the ocean? I would never. I think I started to train to do diving when I was younger, and then I didn't finish it. So that's that, guys. I can see it's not showing up hugely on the screen, but when I look in the mirror here, it's certainly showing up. So you'll see it in the photos afterwards, just so we're not here and I'm applying mascara for hours. It is showing up in the mirror and in my little mirror, but I can see on screen it's not showing as heavy, I guess, or the effect isn't as obvious. So I will pop up pictures afterwards. So I'm just going to curl the lash and do the same thing on the other side. Then we'll do our setting spray. The setting spray is going to be the e.l.f. Gripping Mist. It's their new setting spray. I've had it for quite a while. Are you a good swimmer, Tassos? Do you like to swim? Okay, so we're just going to go in again this side really quick because I know it's getting late now and we're on for a while. We're on for over an hour. Okay. Okay. But I hope you guys learned something. So contouring is when you want something to recede inwards or you want something to look smaller, which is usually the cheekbones, the forehead, under the chin. Highlighting is what you want to make look even more obvious. So the eyes is usually where people want to look obvious. They're very bright, super bright, and down the nose, above the lips, because again that does make it look a bit bigger. So contouring is going to bring your cheekbones in and your jawline in. Highlighting is going to make it look more obvious and it's going to push it forward. So that's basically the art of contour and highlight. Contour recedes in, makes things look smaller, such as the cheekbones and the forehead, and then the highlight is what you will look at directly and make very obvious and bright. And that's what that is basically. But I wanted to show you a stick today, a duo stick, which is the Revolution medium highlight and contour, but it comes in light, medium, and dark. Mine was in medium. But I do want to stress, guys, you do not need, just before we go, you definitely don't need any high-end kind of contour creams, anything like that. You get what you need. Get a concealer that's dark and a concealer that's light, and you can use it that way. There's lots of different ways you can do it, guys. The heat here in Limassol is unbearable, of course. Yes, swimming became my thing because of the lockdowns. Yeah, oh my God. So you used to swim in in lockdown. That must have been a really good thing to be able to do because so many people, we were just told to stay indoors. The first year of lockdown, I remember we were only allowed out 25 minutes of the day, and obviously you then had to stay a certain amount of feet away from the other person. So yeah, it was crazy. So to have like an option like swimming, that must have been a lifeline for you, definitely. I can see how that would work. Okay, so that's kind of what we're looking at, guys. You can do it on the bottom lashes if you want to, just to make things a little bit more bright, but I think for some reason the mascara I don't think is coming off as strong on camera than when I'm looking at it in the mirror or in this little mirror here, but I will put photos up. So guys, I hope you can kind of see the difference from the beginning. And again, like I said, tying your hair up is going to make you look at your bone structure. It's going to show you, first of all, you'll have no makeup on. You're going to tie your hair up. You're going to see, do I have a circle face? Do I have an oval face? Is it more rectangle? And then if it is, where do I put the contour and where do I put the highlight to kind of maximize what I have? And that's what I'll pop in the post section as well. I will put a photo of various face shapes and where the contour and highlight is. Do you have traffic noise where you are now? Yes, a motorbike just went by. You might have just heard it. Usually you wouldn't, but I have the window open. I usually don't, but it is so hot, Tassos. This is what I mean. I've kind of put my all my kind of lights and equipment towards this side of the room, which is why it kind of looks a little bit like it's going down, but actually everything's the other side of the room. This is the closest to the windows. Yeah, my motorbike went by. So yeah, I am going to, in time, do a better setup. Thank you for the love hearts, guys. So that was a motorbike that went by, guys. Okay. So I think, guys, I think basically this is it. Of course, you could do blush. I was going to do blush, but I don't want to take away from what you want. You want to see. You want to see the contour. You want to see the highlight. We can put on a tiny bit of blush. What I'll use is I'll use the Chic Lamb birthday cake. That's actually really nice. And it's from Shein. So Shein is a website which I'm sure all of you know. Does homeware, clotheswear, also does makeup, and their makeup section is called Chic Lamb, basically. And I think I've got birthday cake here. I wasn't going to put it on, but I will. Last little step. It's very, very, very heavy in terms of like you only need a tiny amount. So this is what it looks like. It comes on a sponge like that. I will warm it up on the skin because to apply that straight away, guys, is just madness. So that's what it looks like. It smells like vanilla. But look at that, guys. I mean, that's super, super pink. But that's the closest I had to hand. And because it does kind of suit the eyes, I guess. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply it very lightly to the cheek here, very lightly, and then we're going to use a brush, a blush brush, And that will kind of be it complete. I'll then show you the setting spray. So as you can see, guys, I'm starting from the cheekbone, but I'm going upwards. I'm bringing the blush up. If you bring blush up, it's going to make you look younger. If you continually, if you, not continually, but if you put it in a circle here, it's going to make you look older. It's going to, depending on your shape of your face as well. So if you're trying to give a structured look, which is what we're trying to do today, we're trying to give that structured look, and this is what you would do. So what I'm going to do now, and it hasn't touched the contour or highlights, so it all kind of blends in quite nicely. So as I warm that up with the skin, I'm going to go in with a clean blush brush. We're going to spray it slightly, not very much, but slightly, just because it's so hot. Okay, just going to wipe that. So I'm just going to dot that just to give it a bit more of a glisten and kind of manipulate the shape as well, because I did go on at my hands. So if I look away, you can kind of see there's a sheen to it. And just so it doesn't look so harsh, and because I had literally applied it with my finger, so we don't want it to look too harsh. I think my voice is going, guys. Oh my goodness, it's not what we need. Okay, and what we're going to do then is just go in with my powder. This is just the powder brush, and we're just gonna bring that up slightly just to calm it down. So just kind of that flushed look. That's Birthday Cake from She Glam. So that's kind of the look, guys. You can see the eyes, they definitely look different, but I didn't want the eyeshadow color to be too taking over. And again, we did that contour on the eye. I do hope this was very, very helpful. Do you feel tired as we speak? I do a little bit, and then I go and have a shower. I go to do something else, and then I'm wide awake again, but then I have to be up at like 7:15 tomorrow. So the other thing I will say is that in my last place, I had to be up at 5:30 in the morning to get there for 7:30. And I live about 6 minutes away from work, and that's walking. So I think I'll have a little bit more of time to sleep. But as I said before, I have trouble falling asleep. But then once I'm asleep, I'm fine. And then it's just getting up in the morning. I'm literally having to drag myself out of bed. But yeah, so tomorrow 7:30, I'm starting. So this is the finished look, guys. We've kind of done a contour. I've done the blush at the end. I'll just say again, so what we do is for the contour, look at the shape of your face and look in my post section. There's currently one in my post section already if you want to have a look, and basically it's 8 different faces and it's the shape of your face. Now some people might be a mixture of both, you just don't know. So take a look at those shapes. I can feel my hay fever in my nasal cavity. Sorry guys, the pollen count doesn't help with the windows wide open, but it's just too hot. It's too hot. So definitely take a look at your face before you try this, guys. Look back on this if you want to as a reference. I am doing a more longer form content on Saturday, so you can always just pop in and look at that video. That'll be available on Saturday. Look at the shape of your face. Look at where you want it smaller and where you want defined, which is usually, as I say, the forehead and the cheekbones. Sometimes people want to define the chin as well. And then where you want to highlight, so that heart shape, I know I keep saying it and emphasizing it, but the heart shape, if I put a heart shape here, it goes right to the eyes and the nose, and that's kind of what you want to brighten, basically. So that is it. What we'll use now is the e.l.f. setting spray. So this is new, but I got it on a deal with Superdrug. This is the last thing we'll do. I won't keep you guys up too much longer, I promise, but I do love talking to you guys. I really do. It does make my day. So Tassos, I do feel not tired so much now. I was tired earlier. I had like a nap for 2 hours, which I didn't mean to do, but moving is just tiring. I'll probably go to bed in like an hour and a half maybe. So it's 10 o'clock UK time now, so maybe 11:30. So this is it. So this is the Power Grip Dewy Setting Spray Shockingly Fine Mist Major Makeup Grip. Now I will say it's new, but I got it on my Superdrug club cards points, and I got £4 off of it, and I made sure my Revolution was finished before I even touched it. So yeah, this is probably going to do me for a while now. So a mist is different to a setting spray. So when you think of a mist, the mistake people make is they'll spray it and think, oh, I didn't really feel that, but it's a mist. So just be aware of that so you don't use too much product, because with the setting spray, it's quite heavy. You're going to feel it come on almost like raindrops. But with this mist, if I just show you, it's barely there. Literally, I'll just do it again. Just barely there. So, but don't worry, it definitely does what it says. So what I'm going to do is just give it a shake. And then that's the dewy setting spray. So this is going to give you a dewy finish. If you want to look for a matte finish, they do have the matte finish as well. And that's kind of it, guys. That's the kind of contoured, and we've done some blush at the end, the highlight. Haven't really taken too much emphasis away in terms of the eyeshadow. I went quite kind of subtle on the eyeshadow and the mascara. I will pop up pictures. Thank you guys for sticking with me today. My next live will be Wednesday night at the same time, 7:30. I hope to see you guys there. Have a really, really good rest of your day, or wherever you are, if it's day or night time, and I'll see you really, really soon.